If you're wondering why the escalation and tensions between the Ukraine and Russia are being pushed specifically by one person, really, it's just fucking Joe in his office, if we're all being fair about this. It's because he wants to cover up for his multitude of failures, so he thinks that, oh, if I could just push this onto Russia, I'll be able to make it all disappear. It's not, okay? People are still paying attention, and they kind of see through your facade, because it doesn't matter how much you saber rattle, it's just gonna sound like your old fucking joints creaking as opposed to a war cry. Nobody knows what's going on there better than the people that are over in Ukraine and Russia, and what they're saying compared to what you're doing doesn't match reality. But if we are, because I've also seen reports that, oh yes, Russia going to drop the bomb on Wednesday. I don't know. Maybe. I guess we'll have to wait and see, and then I guess we can just kind of plan the content out for the rest of the week. By Wednesday, we'll be doing an update. Maybe. I don't know. But again, I want to get out ahead of this before the information on this ends up mounting too much. But Biden's recent past when it comes to handling the military hasn't been that great. And is he taking responsibility for it? Is he learning from his situations? I think you guys know the answer to that. I'm rejecting the military's account of Afghanistan evacuation failures. It was a success. That's why there's still Americans trapped behind lines by the Taliban, which are still more reasonable than Jacinda Ardern. President Joe Biden denied first-hand military accounts that there were on the ground in Afghanistan during the August 2021 evacuation of Kabul. No, I know better. I was in the White House. I was watching the big screen, and I had people telling me I was doing a good job. In an interview with NBC's Lester Holt, the president said he rejects now surfaced accounts from military leaders who claim the White House acted too slowly in its evacuation. Well, to be fair, did they act too slowly? No, because they initially acted too quickly by just throwing out the plan that was already in place, because I like symbolism and we want everybody out by September 11th in order to mark the 20th anniversary, which you failed at spectacularly because the Taliban took control of all the places and said, get your shit and fuck off by August 31st, my friend. And you were like, okay, fine. So you acted too quickly and too slowly at the same time. It's impressive. This fucking guy, man. Might be a catastrophic failure when it comes to being a president, but boy, can he do some extraordinary things. An article from the Washington Post citing an Army investigative report that was released via a FOIA request claimed that top State Department and White House officials didn't have a grasp on the Taliban's steady advance across Afghanistan last summer. No, that's not what I was told, Biden told Holt when he was asked about whether the Post claims were accurate. Yes, I am. I'm rejecting them. Oh, cool. He added when asked about whether he rejects such claims, there was no good time to get out. No, he could have just done it right, but whatever. But if we had gotten out, they acknowledged that he would have had to pull out a hell of a lot more troops. Oh, back in. Biden also said, no, the way that you should have done it, get out the people and the non-essential equipment, and then the non-essential personnel, and then whatever's left over. That's the way that you should do it, instead of just listen, we're gonna get all of the military people and all of the military stuff out, and you guys, you know what, hey, any Americans that are in the area, if you'd like to leave at the same time, we're gonna be gone by, I don't know, like the end of the month. So if you want to hitch a ride, that'd be cool. Otherwise, just fucking get out, and don't mind the goat fuckers off there in the distance. They're coming in and they look pissed. You know, you probably could have done something to mitigate that fact, but whatever. I'm glad that he's reviewing all this stuff, because he's trying to make something happen out there in Eastern Europe once again, because I don't know. I really don't know, outside of the fact that he's just trying to obscure from the fact that his economy is not recovering at any decent rate. Okay, he keeps failing at everything else he's doing. So what would unite the country and what would really distract from anything? World War III, or whatever this would end up being, really. So what did he do? Okay, in order to de-escalate, or whatever he's pushing as a de-escalation. I don't buy any of this shit until I see something actually happen. I'm not buying this Russia-Ukraine gimmick. It's just something that's been going on for a long time. And the talk from the people that are actually there, they're just like, I don't know what Joe's doing. He's the one who's escalating this. But Biden holds an hour-long call. He holds a call, but how long does he actually talk with Putin? That's what I want to know. Putin over Ukraine, no material progress made. Because there's none to be made. Fuck. White House said there had been no material progress in de-escalating tensions between Russia and Ukraine after President Joe Biden held an hour-long conversation with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The call happened between 11:04 a.m. and 12:06 p.m. That's when the call happened, okay? It happened between 11 and 12. It's like, okay, well, they talked. For how long? Oh, they talked between 11 and 12. Okay. Biden warned Putin that the United States will respond decisively and impose swift and severe costs on Russia if the latter chose to invade Ukraine. Cool. However, the White House said that there had been no material progress made during the call between the two leaders. Cool. So he said, oh, we're going to do something if you do something. And it's like, we're not planning on doing something. Okay, thanks, Vladdy. I'll talk to you later. There's been no fundamental change in the dynamic that has been unfolding for several weeks now. Okay, so it's been unfolding for several weeks and there's been no change and you haven't been able to make progress on what you want. And what exactly does Biden want in all of this? Really? Like, okay, he's trying to de-escalate the situation. A situation that what? Like, okay, tensions between the two nations might be at like a 3 or a 4, so he wants to drag them down further? Like, is that his ultimate goal? I don't know, because nobody really knows. All they know is that, oh, Russia's gonna invade Ukraine. Okay, cool. Is there any like effort or rather evidence to that? No, he's gonna do it because Putin's bad. Okay. This is what the White House said on Saturday after the phone call. Biden spoke to President Putin about Russia's escalating military buildup at the borders of Ukraine. How long are they going to be building this up before they do something? I don't really know. Doesn't make sense. President Biden was clear that if Russia undertakes a further invasion of Ukraine, they're at the border. They haven't invaded at all, okay? Outside of, like, concessions that they made years and years ago at this point. There's nothing going on. Whatever. I'll get bogged down if we go by this line by line and make my little points. Now, President Biden reiterated that further Russian invasion of Ukraine would produce widespread human suffering and diminish Russia's standing. Ooh, I don't think so highly of you, Vlad. And it's like, okay. When you hang up the phone, you'll forget all about this conversation. Anyways, President Biden was clear that President Putin, that while the United States remains prepared to engage in diplomacy in full coordination with our allies and partners, we are equally prepared for other scenarios. Cool. Once again, who's actually making the threats, even as veiled as they are, the threats of violence here? Putin? Or the old war hawk who's supported every single incursion he has in the 47 years he's been in office? Just asking. So, okay, you spoke with Putin. How about speaking with the leader of the Ukraine? Whatever. Okay, I'm quarter Ukrainian anyway, so forgive me if I'm not exactly precise with my denonyms. President Biden communicated with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky by phone on February 13th, and the two reaffirmed the commitment of the United States to Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity. It's like, cool, that's what I'm doing too, but again, why do you keep trying to provoke Russian bear? Don't get it. White House, in a recent readout posted online that offered few details, of course it did, because there's nothing to comment on, said that Biden told Zelensky that the United States would respond swiftly and decisively. We know he has that same talking point. That's what you have to do with old dementia patients. And you could feed him a line of stuff, but he'll just really attach to one thing that's in there. And it seems like swift and decisive is one of those aspects, okay? Or at least that's what the White House wants to put out to seem just like they're in control of the situation. Sure they are. The two leaders agreed to the importance of continuing to pursue diplomacy. Am I reading the same fucking article? Jesus. And deterrence in the response to Russia's military buildup on Ukraine borders. The readout concluded the two leaders previously spoke January 2nd. Cool. So it took them over a month to reconvene on this very dangerous, very serious situation. Okay. So after all the phones were put away, Zelensky once again was asking, okay, Ukraine's president demands proof from the United States over alarmist Russian invasion claims. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about, Joe. But that could also be a lot of things because not too many people know what's going on with Joe. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has demanded proof in the United States, and White House officials warned that Russia could invade the former Soviet country later this month. Yeah, there's been too much information about a full-scale full-scale war with Russia. Even specific dates have been announced, Zelensky told reporters on February 12th. We understand there are risks. If you have any additional information regarding a 100% guaranteed invasion of Ukraine by Russia on the 16th of February, please give it to us. Okay, that's the Wednesday claim that I seen before. He's like, okay, you keep saying Russia's gonna fucking attack us on Wednesday. Can you help us out? Because you keep saying that you want to de-escalate the situation, but again, you're the only one who's pushing this. The bomb will drop. The bombing will start, yes, very shortly. On February 16th, it's like, the fucking, where's the receipts, dude? Zelensky also cautioned against such warnings of a potential imminent invasion, which he said is creating panic in his country, and reiterated that the Ukraine's wish, first and foremost, is to de-escalate tensions. No fucking shit. And even still, he's like, okay, provide us information, or just come over and tell us what the fuck is going on, okay? Invites Biden to visit in the coming days in hopes of de-escalating situation with Russia. Just thinking, okay, if you won't tell us what's going to happen on the 16th, it's like a surprise party. It's like, make sure that you get a nice suit so we can go to the party on the 16th. It's like, so if Joe comes over, it's like Putin wouldn't bomb us, and not even saying that he would, or if he would send a foot soldier over the fucking line. It's like, if anybody can explain the situation, okay, this is directly affecting us, but we're kind of being left out of the conversation here. If you could clear any of this stuff up, or just come on over, we'll have pierogies and kubasa. Everybody will just have a fucking great time, okay? But somebody help us out? Ugh, whatever. Ukrainian President Zelensky on February 13th invited Biden to visit Kyiv, in which he believes would be a powerful signal to help de-escalate and stabilize the situation with Russia, which Biden keeps telling us it's going to happen any one of these days now. According to the Ukrainian readout of the Sunday call, Zelensky thanked Biden for sending military aid to Ukraine, saying that the aid can help prevent the spread of a mood of panic, which he's stoking. Zelensky also invited Biden to visit the former Soviet country. The presidential office said, I'm convinced that your arrival in Kyiv in the coming days, which are crucial for stabilizing the situation, will be a powerful signal to and contribute to the de-escalation. The president's office quoted Zelensky as telling Biden, yeah, but Joe, he knows President's Day is next Monday, and that's a long weekend, and he already has time booked off at Martha's Vineyard. He's going to go up there and see Barry for the weekend, and it's like, oh my God, we need to get everything started, and I'm trying to wrap everything up by Thursday, and you know how long a plane takes in order to get over there, so you know I'll phone you or something. Just we'll exchange numbers, we'll text or something. You like the Google, the FaceTime thing? Zelensky also said Ukraine understood that the threat it faced, and it was ready to face any scenario, according to the Ukrainian readout of the phone call. Elsewhere, during the Sunday's hour-long phone call, both of Biden and Zelensky reaffirmed the commitment to the United States to help out with sovereignty and territorial integrity. Again, with the same shit, okay? Yeah, and bottom line, Zelensky wants proof, okay? Thanks for sending the troops. Thanks for giving us aid and all that stuff. But can you give us the receipts? No. Can you help us out? No. Will you come visit? I'll think about it. Okay, but what are you going to do in the meantime? Close the embassy in Kyiv. Why? Oh my fuck. I don't get it. What's with the secrecy? Like, even the Ukrainians are being left in the dark on this one. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said Monday that the United States is shutting down its embassy in Kyiv amid heightened tensions with Russia. United States-Russian tensions? Is that what you're talking about? We're in the processes of temporarily relocating our embassy operations in Ukraine from our embassy in Kyiv to Lviv due to the dramatic acceleration in the buildup of Russian forces. We keep hearing that line, but can you do anything to provide further detail on the situation? You know, Russians keep building up troops. What does that even mean? Okay. Are they just stacking them in formation? Are they building a fucking phalanx in order to breach fucking Kyiv? What are you doing? Whatever. Lviv is about 50 miles from Ukraine's western border with Poland. Okay. NATO and European Union member. Yeah, and Poland's based out of their fucking mind. Kind of like, you know, Ukraine in this situation. They're like, what the fuck is going on here? And even still, I haven't heard anything from Putin himself, okay? He's a guy who's threatening to do something, allegedly, okay? Zelensky's office later clarified his remarks, alleging that there would be a February 16th attack if done so in irony. Over the weekend, Biden's administration officials claimed that Russia was planning to invade Ukraine in the near future and possibly before the conclusion of the Winter Olympics on February 20th. It's almost like he's just grabbing things that he's seen. Oh, Russia's going to attack on Wednesday before the Olympics are over because you seen that what about that Chinese girl who fell? That was funny. You see the Super Bowl? Like, dude, I don't know. All of this shit doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, none of the signals are there. None of the signs are there, okay? I'd show you a leftist article. I'd show you CNN's homepage, which is just strewn with this Russia shit once again, mostly because it's just so easy, because all of their reporters, all of their quote-unquote journalists, they've just been stuck in Russia man bad mode for the past 5 fucking years, so it's just easy to once again say Russia man bad, and anybody saying that there's nothing going on there is just a Putin puppet. We just want receipts. Like, if they're going to be planning on doing something, okay, that's fine. You should fucking figure it out. And then also wonder, what does the United States have to do with a conflict, even theoretically, between Ukraine and Russia? It's halfway across the globe with people of zero consequence to the health of the United States, okay? Let's just play this out, okay? Russia takes over the Ukraine, okay? How much farther does that go? Do they continue their conquest into the rest of the old Soviet Union to reform the Soviet Union? You take a look at their economy and what's going on over there and their growth, it's like it doesn't make any sense. It's just expanding for expansion's sake doesn't really seem to make sense, but it does if you're Joe. I don't know. Again, I haven't seen anything that would lead me to the conclusion that helping out the Ukraine would be the best decision, or even if there is going to be a conflict. This is just going to be one of those things where it's like, oh, we're teetering on the brink of war, and all of those old neo-libs and neocons are just, oh, there's so much money to be made, and oh, all of our fucking undoings, and the fact that people have been paying close attention to the government over the past 5 years with no wars going on, that's really made our jobs hard. So if we have something to just do, is just a vague excuse for any of our normally corrupt decisions can go ahead and just get thrown away and just filed under our war strategy. Oh, we could really use one of those right now. That's all I'm seeing. That's the only logical conclusion I can think of. But I don't know, man. If we're heading towards another big conflict, another armed conflict, and there's something I'm missing on this one, yeah, okay, fine. But it doesn't really seem to pan out. Not by everything that I'm looking at. But mostly this just seems like a pay attention to what the right hand is doing while the left hand just, I don't know, does all that shit that you've been projecting on your opponents for the past 5 years. Whoops, we got to talk about that Durham probe here for a moment, because more information on that dropped on the weekend. So with that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.